Doc. I'm coming to get you.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied. Get off my plane.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
John, I'm not gonna shoot you between the eyes. Shoot you between the balls.
The disease. And I'm the cure.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. There can be only one.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to kill them all, sir.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast. I am one of your hosts, Charlie. With me, as always, is Nate. Say hello to the people, Nate.
I knew that was coming.
And you know what? Next to Nate is Pete. What do you know, Pete?
Oh, I can't do it. Nope, can't do it.
Pete, what do you mean?
Oh, no, I still can't do it.
No more interviews.
It's all right.
No more interviews.
Good evening, gentlemen. So how many Stallones were in our opener? There were three. Did I catch three, or were there?
Let's see. There's Rambo.
Yeah.
There's Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
I think that's the only, because I don't think I put a Demolition Man in it.
Okay.
No,
anyway, I thought that was fun.
We're well known to say that I think Stallone's probably our favorite action hero. You know, as far as catalog and stuff like that.
So as far as catalog, I feel like it's still.
Yeah.
I'd say he's up there for sure. He's
I mean, everybody knows, like, during the 80s and 90s, it was, Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Stallone. But I think there's more movies I love from Stallone.
I also find him a lot more charming than a lot of the other guys. He and Arnold really are the top tier.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
They're charming. Although Arnold could deliver a joke pretty well.
I'd say Arnold's funny as shit.
And
That's the thing.
Opposite. I don't think Stallone's very funny. I hear in person he's a joy to be around.
Yeah,
but he just
he doesn't have that comedic timing.
Show mom. Well, throw mama from the train or something like that.
No, it's Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Oh, that's what it is.
And then there's also Oscar, which I liked. Oscar.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Oscar. Anyway. Although I thought he was quite funny as King Shark in the last Suicide Squad movie.
Fantastic.
He was very, very funny.
Friend.
Bard.
It helps when you have really good dialogue written for you.
Exactly. Good writers for King Shark. Absolutely. Well, another one of my favorites that we are covering tonight from Stallone is 1993's Cliffhanger. And something special about this particular movie tonight is this is a first watch for Nate and Pete.
Yep.
Neither of these yahoos, I'll say yahoos for now, knuckleheads, have ever watched Cliffhanger. And it just kind of blows my mind, man.
Well, I don't know what happened. I mean, I watched the first maybe 8 minutes as a kid, watched the girl fall, and I went, I'm gonna go outside. And then I never watched it again. I was 93. I was 5 when this came out. And I remember we rented it. The girl fell. And then I remember Ace Ventura did it. And I was like, no, not the raccoon. 10 times more sadder than the girl. So
I still hate that they parodied that. I was like, damn it. Come on. Don't do that. But
hey, When Nature's Calls, a perfect sequel. All right.
It is a good sequel. I do like What Nature Calls.
I was a sophomore in college.
So we already know the story here.
Classic in college.
In college. Fishing.
Frankly, this movie just always looked really dumb to me. I looked at it and went, oh,
really?
It held no appeal to me at all whatsoever. I'm like, well, how are you going to make an action movie out of Cliff?
I think I was kind of the same way, honestly. That's why I've always kind of I haven't seen that. And then
there's another dumb action movie, and it just looked just dumb. I wasn't interested, and I'll tell you what, 3 in a row, didn't hate it. Just three action movies in a row. I kind of enjoyed this. It was.
He says three in a row, but technically we've recorded a couple ahead of time.
Oh yeah,
so
never mind.
no, it's fine.
Later.
No, it's cool.
Keep
It's
it in
whatever.
there. Keep it in there. It's fine.
My official, I believe what I said after it was over, I went, Cliffhanger's pretty fucking cool. And then I instantly took a 2-hour nap.
Fair. No. Well, before we get into my history with it here, I had some issue with the trailers again, guys.
Oh,
Jesus
now look,
Christ.
this is an English movie. You should be able to find a trailer,
Yeah.
or is this like a super long? Stupid one?
It's
Or-
both.
Is there no dialogue in it?
There's no
That's it.
effing
I know it's one of those
dialogue.
Of course. Why would there be?
They play like da 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 da. That's one of the trailers.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's literally
Hello,
just
Hello,
words flying across the screen going, hold on to your pants. I don't know. Something like that. I was watching these things going, they look cool, but damn it, I'm getting mad. So then I reverted to TV spots.
Yeah.
5 TV spots are all just cut up sections of the trailer
No
with no
way.
dialogue.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I found one 30-second spot. This is our trailer, damn it. That's what we get. Be happy with it. So here we go. Cliffhanger trailer spot.
They stole $100 million in midair and lost it. Now, to get it back,
Recognize these locations?
they'll make one man a hostage
You're not going after him.
Let's see what I got.
and the other a moving target. Cliffhanger, rated R. Starts Friday, May 28th at a theater near you.
Can I say I know this movie starts May 28th? That's all I heard in every commercial. That's the only dialogue in every TV spot. May 28th, Cliffhanger. And that's not even a great TV spot like that. I can understand why you guys weren't sold on this movie with the marketing. It's like it doesn't tell you anything. And then one TV spot is literally them running across the rope bridge as it explodes. They just play that clip.
It's over and over.
Nothing else. It's just a TV commercial of them running across the bridge and it blows up.
Famously busted by Mythbusters, by the way. That's not
Yeah.
how gravity works, guys. That was Looney Tunes gravity.
Wait,
rules, I think.
what?
You would think after, we saw it really work in Indiana Jones,
Oh, sure, yeah.
that's how that really works, but not Cliffhanger.
You're telling me that Cliffhanger lied?
It did.
Cliffhanger.
Yes.
Oh,
What?
Hilariously
No.
lied.
there's
There wasn't anybody I thought that was real.
there's
Yeah,
a few
there was
inaccuracies in this movie.
Nobody. For sure.
I was happy to ignore it. I just when he did that, I remembered that episode of Mythbusters. I went, oh yeah,
Yep.
that's bullshit.
You can't run across it, It's not like the Phantom when the vines wrap around the truck and the rope bitch flips over and it just hangs there.
Yeah.
Like there were no vines a second ago. How did it get tangled? But
More
that's the
about that.
Phantom. No, Nate, Billy Zane. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Zane.
don't. Nope.
Settle down.
Zane, Billy Zane, Zane.
So I have a little bit of history with this, as this was almost unobtainium for me as a kid.
Oh,
When this movie came out, Dad wanted to see it. Like,
sure.
second it was a new release, and at the time I was playing basketball, so I had practice, and Mom would come pick me up from practice. Drove right past the local video store, so stop in, see if they had Cliffhanger. 2 weeks of stopping in to see if they had Cliffhanger.
The new release.
Constantly. New release. It was
That was
new release.
a real thing in the video store.
They only have probably 5 copies.
I want to
that.
say like maybe 6 at most.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Those
this was a pretty
first month
big
it gets
one.
released on VHS. Boy, you had to wait in line
You
outside.
better
the
hope no
store.
one steals it.
No, or you had to know the VA, the person, the clerk, and when I got older and could drive, I had hookups. It's like, bro, put this one under the counter for me when it comes in. But Cliffhanger was a 2-week long journey to get it. Dad still had to watch it before I could because it's a new release. He didn't know what was in it, just to be sure. And I got to watch it that following Saturday. So that is my history with this, because that's what I remember the most was, do you have Cliffhanger? Oh, is Oh, I think it literally got to the point where I'd get to the door and they go, no. I'm like,
no. Fine, I'll just take Rambo 2 again.
Well, no, it got to the point where Mom's like, no, you can't keep renting a movie just because you went inside. I'm like, I want to rent a movie.
Yeah.
Dad wants the movie. Let's get one. It's not Cliffhanger. So, but yeah, that's my history. And then, of course, I got to watch it. And even at like 13, 14 years old, man, I had a lot of fun with this movie. It was exciting. It was pretty tense,
Yeah, outside of the language, it's pretty tame.
It's not really
violence
crazy.
Isn't over the top. It's over the top, but it's not blood and gore, and there's no nudity at all whatsoever.
No,
so
none.
As far as a rated, it's a tame rated R movie.
It has Stallone being like a normal guy, which is pretty shocking.
He's pretty
like
normal.
he kind of gets his ass kicked a bit
late in the movie.
This is surprised. I actually would consider Cliffhanger more of a Die Hard clone.
Sure.
It's regular man tossed into, circumstances.
Into unusual circumstances.
He's not even supposed to be there, man. He's just there picking up his shit, that's
saying
all.
Goodbye to the dog. Like,
right.
Pretty cool to see him be a normal guy. And like, he's a rock climber. So of course he's fit, he's got the physique because he's climbing these rocks without any harnesses or anything, which I don't know. Do people do that? That sounds terrifying.
There is free climbing.
There are
there's
crazy people that do that.
Why?
Look at Nate. Yes, there is. And he's
no,
like,
I don't want to do that. Why? Like when they're on the tower at the beginning, I'm like
crazy, and I got a lot of respect for those people. But
I get tired going from like the mailbox to the couch, like, and you want me to go up?
I mean, that's what Tom Cruise was famous for that stunt in Mission Impossible, that he did free climbing,
Yeah, but he had the suction cups.
No, this is the mountain one. Mission Impossible 2, I think that's the opener.
There's so
for that
many,
one.
I can't remember.
I haven't seen 2 in forever. Yeah.
I just remember Metallica did the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's
it. Motorcycles on their front wheels spinning around.
Yeah, that's really all I remember of that movie.
That's Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah.
But no, it's this one. God, it was just a spectacular, just this spectacle, I should say, of a movie when I was a kid watching this. I mean,
this is a stunt reel galore. There are so many jaw-dropping stunts in this movie that is really the highlight to it all. It's like, holy shit, they did what? Like free base jumping, the rock climbing. I mean, there's some CGI, like green screen, like of a person falling.
From airplane to airplane.
That was real.
That was real,
and that's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah,
it's the most expensive
stunt ever.
One person stunt. It was $1 million stunt, and the guy didn't actually. He went from plane to plane, but he could not get into the other plane. So with clever editing, they make it look like he does get in. But there's just so much,
but he
speed
still
and
did it.
he did it.
Jumped from
it's incredible. And then like the miniatures to this are awesome.
My God, dude. This
All
is
the
not
miniatures of, like,
this isn't a
planes
sudden
crashing
death
and stuff.
This isn't a sudden death helicopter.
No,
this is
this helicopter has weight to it.
Yeah, it's also one of my favorite endings in this with this movie, as far as like a climactic battle. Also, I mean, of course, we're going to talk about Stallone. Of course, we're going to talk about everyone else. Low key, probably one of my top 5 villains from the 80s and 90s with John Lithgow as Quaylen.
All right, so
go ahead, Nate. I got something.
What is that accent? Because it's not real.
Well, it's not real, Pete. I know what you're going to say. It's also not British. I kept treating it like just this guy who wanted to be a thespian his entire life, and he maybe he had been in theater a little bit, and then he didn't get the
maybe
big role,
a little bit,
but he didn't get the role, so he turned to crime. He's like, if I can't, entertain the people, I will steal from the people.
All right. I don't know where the money came from at all.
The mint.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense though, and I didn't care.
So it was minted money that was non-circulated, which is what, for whatever movie reason, it just has to go from one agency to another. Basically, it's like a physical representation of some type of value. Now, the funny part is where they were getting it printed from doesn't actually print paper money. They only print coins, and that amount of money would have been 2,500 tons of coins from that mint, which is funny. But it's plot service, man. It's
okay. All right, fair.
And
but that doesn't ignore
legit tender though.
John Lithgow's made up accent, and he's a phenomenal actor. There's no denying.
I love it.
He didn't have to do that accent. He's a great villain.
Very weird. He would slip into an actual English accent.
Yeah,
every once in a while.
I think every once in a while that's just the way he was talking.
It was not English. Like it was clear as day.
His girlfriend was.
Yeah, that's also
yeah.
That's also the girl from Die Hard with a Vengeance. The one.
That's why she looks so familiar.
God.
She has those like distinguishable eyes. They're very striking.
She takes those knives and slices the dude, his neck open in Die Hard and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you got her in here, but no, John, and you got to remember as a kid, John Lithgow was Third Rock from the Sun for me. I watched some of those.
That's what most of your age group would remember him from.
Oh yeah.
Well, the big one Pete, is the dad from Harry and the Hendersons.
I was gonna say yes, Bigfoot. Yeah.
So to see him as a bad guy, and I'm just like, whoa, like this is the TV dad, that's like nice and everything, or the goofy alien, and he's cold. He's calculated. He reminds me of Hans Gruber a lot. Just that kind of.
That's because of it being a Die Hard clone.
Well, it is a Die Hard clone, and
he is more vicious as a villain in Footloose. All right,
stop it.
So if we ever want to cover a movie where John Lithgow is the villain again,
dancing is
Footloose
action,
is there. Yeah,
it's action.
Yeah, there's solo dancing in it.
No,
it's on the table.
You can start your. I will get you your own feed. I will let you use everything you need. We have here. You can start. Give me back my '80s musical.
No, I just want give me back my Footloose.
Give me back. You're going to be like that Big Trouble in Little China podcast where it's a one podcast about Footloose.
Yeah, that's it.
Every 30-second part of the movie is an episode you talk about.
Boy, I don't like those.
I don't either. I don't like it at all.
Anyway, John Lithgow. So I've seen. God, I can't remember the one where he was completely unhinged, but he can turn on a dime to complete.
He could be
crazy.
Scary. Was it?
Isn't he Dexter's dad?
No, he's a villain in Dexter.
He's the other killer.
He's another serial killer that Dexter looks up to because he's got it all figured out with the family.
He
is terrifying
as an unhinged crazy man. And I didn't get that in this movie, and I really wanted that.
Yeah, even when he kills his girlfriend.
Yeah, right. I wanted more of that, and
yeah,
that was out of left field. I was not expecting it at all.
Right.
But I wanted more crazy. But if you're going with a Die Hard clone, then he's got to be calm and cool and in control.
That's what it is. Like the plan, none of this that's happening on the mountain is a plan after the plane crash. It's everything's like calculated down to the minute. They take over the plane, they kill everyone. You realize the pilot's in on it, maybe two other guys there, and everything just goes to shit. The money falls. And they have trackers on the money, thankfully, so they have that, which I did like the one guy that he's like the inside dude was smart enough to go, yeah, you don't really need me once you have the money, but I know how to either find these things or even open the cases.
It was a great way to keep him around.
Yeah.
Now this was also the same plot that Cocaine Bear had with all the cocaine falling out of the sky.
Yep, a lot of snow and Cocaine Bear too. So
yep, there definitely was.
Yep.
But yeah, and this is Rennie Harlan, which we're talking about Die Hard, which is also Die Hard 2.
Yep, I feel like this is kind of his redemption from Die Hard 2, where I said he was not. Yeah, like he was not a well enough in his craft to do Die Hard 2 compared to John McTiernan, where I feel
Exactly.
like this one, it's like, no, this is what this guy's capable of doing. He's making a big horror comeback this coming year as well. They're doing 3 Stranger movies back to back. Like, they were all shot together. I don't know why The Strangers needs to have a trilogy, but he's the one in charge of it. I'm interested.
You know what movies got announced today that are getting a trilogy that I'm sitting there going, why? The
What?
Fall movies are getting a trilogy.
The Fall movies? What are you talking
The
about?
one where the girls are on the cell tower.
Oh, I didn't watch it. I just assumed
I didn't either because I wasn't gonna. Well,
Yeah.
there's going to be 2 more sequels.
Oh, so they didn't
Why?
fall. They're still stuck up there.
Are they skeletons now? We get
I
to
don't
watch
know.
their dead bodies go, well, I think if we just kick the skeletons, we'll go with it, right? And part 3 is apparently if we kick our skeletons off, we don't go with it. And they're just ghosts that are stuck on top of a cell tower. Straight up just off the
All
top
right.
of my head.
Well,
I
now
have
I'm
no-
kind of
They're
interested in
hiding
this.
from the graboids is what they were doing.
there you
Yeah,
go,
that's
Pete.
all.
There's a trimmer down there, so we're gonna have a huge crossover. I'm down. I don't know why we went off on that tangent. That was funny.
That's what we do.
It is, man. But yeah, Rennie Harlan. I mean, he's done some good stuff. And this, like I said, man, I really like Cliffhanger. I mean, obviously, there's other Stallone movies that I enjoy, but the main reason we picked this too was, it's like, well, let's do a Stallone movie. It's also cold weather setting in.
Yeah.
Now we need snow. And what action movie has the most amount of snow? Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Much. It was beautiful. The cinematography is gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
That opening,
Oh my god.
that
dude.
opening scene of Stallone climbing that cliff face. was
How? Like,
stunning.
it's so, like, people do this.
Yeah, they really
Yeah.
did this.
No. He's upside down, climbing like Spider-Man. Like,
It's all I don't know. I don't
think that was all
wasn't
Stallone, but like people do that.
The upside
There
down
are-
stuff was not Stallone for sure.
So there are people that do that, and I know that this movie has like it really like pissed off a lot of people. One, the maker of the harness that the Sarah slips out of at the beginning of the movie, they literally had to put out saying that was rigged for the movie. Our shit does not fail like that. You have to because they were getting like letters and shit for that. So, and then the bolt gun is the biggest bullshit thing in the entire movie.
Is it like a nail gun?
Yeah, the one that would shoot the anchor into the rock.
Yeah.
There's so many like climbing people that were like, that doesn't exist.
Doesn't
That's
exist.
not a thing. You would literally shatter the rock
The Rock,
and it wouldn't have anything. But I'm also like, yeah, but you need it to shoot through the ice into the bad guy.
Hey, but
That's
it's
why
cool.
it's there. It
Yeah.
is.
What he
It's-
shot. Ah,
See, I was trying to
now I
figure it out too,
understand.
because I was like, why is he underwater shooting what's a nail gun but not a nail gun?
Yeah,
And then I remembered earlier he used it to the rock and went, that must be it.
yeah. Where did he get the gun?
It was the bolt gun. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It makes more
That's
sense.
all
now.
right. I've
Michael
seen this
Rooker-
way more than you
Yeah.
guys. Okay, it's fine.
Michael Rooker at least had the shotgun at some
Yeah.
point because he had the boot knife. That
Yeah.
I got.
And I like, this was also before I really even knew who Michael Rooker was. I mean, this is, really I knew him from like Days of Thunder as the asshole,
Sure.
opposite Tom Cruise, and they become buddies at the end of it. But really, I didn't know him a whole lot. So I've always really known Rooker from Cliffhanger. Like even now where he's Yondu and all this stuff, I'm always like, that's Hal, Hal's mad at Gabe because he dropped his girlfriend, which
Yep.
I'm like, he didn't drop his girlfriend. She slipped out because she wouldn't be still. That's her fault.
One of us did have one Michael Rooker like one of his comments on TikTok, so we might as well be best friends now.
You're besties with Michael Rooker. which
I'm
is
basically
awesome.
best friends with Michael Rooker because now he acknowledged that my comment was good. So whatever, it's cool.
You've made it, Nate.
I made it. Yeah.
Nate had a
Step
notice
off the
me
planet
senpai
now, you're good.
moment. Yeah, that's awesome.
Now
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Look
That's
at
right. That's right. I know.
he's
Michael
my
Rooker-
daddy.
I know Michael Rooker from Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer,
Yeah.
and
Ugh,
that's
creepy.
That's I saw him in that first before I saw him in even Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
And boy, that was a shift in gears. Let me tell you.
I didn't watch that till like a year. Was it a year ago, Nate? We watched it.
Henry.
Did you even watch it at that
Well,
point?
We didn't cover it for the podcast.
Yeah,
No, we
okay,
didn't. No, we were thinking about it, and I wanted to watch it beforehand.
And I
And
warned
then
you.
And then I watched it and went, "We're not covering this
Yeah,
on the
it's rough.
podcast."
It's a little
But
too real.
yeah,
It's been a long time
dude.
since I watched it, but I know it's a rough go.
That's
I
like,
won't watch it again. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Rooker
It's
does
fair.
a fine job.
he's
I
great.
will not watch that movie again for
It
entertainment.
was. It reminded me of Natural Born Killers, even Maniac. That's
Yeah.
kind of
those over this one. Like honestly, like I've seen Natural Born Killers a handful of times.
it's stylized and silly because
Woody Harrelson is very animated
Just-
in that. I like him and charismatic even. That Rooker nails it in that movie, but I'm just like, fuck, I'm not
stay away
watching
from
that one
Maniac.
again.
'Cause
I
that's
think
a lot of the same thing.
My first Rooker experience was Mallrats because he's the dad that wants
Yeah.
to kick TC's ass.
he is
With the
isn't he?
pretzels.
Say,
Chocolate-covered
would
pretzels.
you like a chocolate covered pretzel?
That's probably my next exposure to him after
Yeah.
Cliffhanger was this. And I like him in this movie. My only thing is I just get mad that he's that pissed off at Gabe, they're best friends. Like that, what was he gonna, he kept saying, "I'm gonna send my harness over." I'm like, what's that
Yeah.
gonna do? She literally can't lift herself up and pull herself up. The rope was holding, the rope never broke. If the rope had broke, that would have justified Rooker being pissed. Like, it's not rigged for two.
Exactly.
Obviously it could because he's out there. She just slipped out of his hand, which I heard was next to impossible for someone's hand to slip out of the glove during filming.
But also because Stallone's grip
It
was
his
so
grip.
tight that
What-
even
what-
they put Vaseline in the glove to make it
Did
slip.
they?
And
They
then
did.
it still had a hard time slipping because Stallone's that fucking strong and held onto her. So Stallone would have not let her die.
Stallone wouldn't have, and by God, he gets some redemption for that. Plus, I like the fact that they're saying that because he has to show that he's gripping. Because if it's a fake grip and it's on that close up, you'll be like, well, he wasn't holding on to
vein
shit.
won't pop out.
Like
and-
his knuckles
You
are
can
turning
see-
white and everything. I believe that he's holding her above however tall of a
I
chasm
mean, it's
that
much
was.
like how I believed Ace Ventura was holding onto that
Oh, dear-
raccoon for dear
God,
life.
Stop that.
He couldn't hold a raccoon though, dude.
But he
Seriously.
was trying.
But the
Jim
raccoon.
Carrey isn't quite as.
Well,
fit as
that's why you don't
Stallone is,
you
so
don't climb with
would've-
a carbine. Don't it tells you when you buy them from the store. Don't rock
Yeah,
climb with
not
these.
those. I keep my keys on those. That's not what
Yeah, don't
you
rock
use.
climb with them.
And it's not a carbine, it's a carabiner.
Oh, carbine's the weapon from Halo 3. My bad.
Yeah.
One of my
His-
biggest beefs with the script of this movie is why the hell was that woman up on top of that mountain? Anywho,
Well, that they
She
mentioned
had-
that where it was
they did
his fault.
briefly. Like it's his fault for bringing her up there. They were up on one of the most precarious, probably advanced climbs.
Yep.
People go on. Somehow she got to the top, and she's afraid of heights.
And Rooker
I'm
hurt
sorry, Michael
himself.
Rooker. This is on you, dude.
But he did say it's better than sex. I don't believe it.
He's not doing it right.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
I'll
I don't
take
believe
his
it one
word
bit.
for it because I'm
Yeah.
never going to do it
It's
because
not
I
gonna
hate
happen.
heights. It's never going to happen. But I think I like this though because that means you kind of got into the story a little bit. Even whenever you get mad at a character for a decision they made, you're just like, why would you do that? Why? It's to me, I feel like this movie is one of those that really kind of drew me in. And even every time I've seen it since then, I just get sucked into the story, man.
Well,
I enjoy the hell out of it.
I think it does a good job with the rescue team, how they're all joking with each other before the tragedy, with like
Mhm.
Frank and Jesse, and like even Rooker, like, hey, Jesse, your man's flirting with my girl. Like,
Yeah.
tell him to knock it off. Like, there's a
Right.
lot of good rapport right
It's
there
a
between them
seasoned
all.
Team that's done this a lot.
Yeah, and like
it really,
Frank is a
it made you feel that when she died, when she slipped out of his hands, that added to the tension. Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
don't let her go.
It's
I want you to go have
heartbreaking.
supper with
Yeah,
her
it's
tomorrow night,"
rough.
whatever.
it's
Yeah,
a
it's-
rough entry to a movie.
This
really
is
is.
probably one of the most rough, just non-horror, like, oh, the grandma died at the beginning of
Because
some
you're
kind
thinking
of
if
movie.
you fell that far, just like that's it. Like
done.
the moment, there is no saving you
Nothing you can do.
whatsoever.
And you're alive the entire time you fall, unless you have a heart attack on the way
And
out.
kudos to that actress for just like, I don't want to die here today. Please save me.
Oh,
I don't want
her-
to die. She sells it.
Her pleading, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. It's still one of those things like if I haven't seen it in a while, it'll still raise goosebumps, man. Where you're just like, oh my god!
Oh,
Like every time you're like, come on, save her this time. Damn it, Stallone, save her.
I had a knot in my stomach. Like I just felt uncomfortable. That's the best way to put it. But and then when they come back together, and like how pissed off Rooker is at him, and then Stallone just being like, "All right, I'll go help out these
hikers, whatever they
the base jumpers."
Oh no, not the
they think
these
are hikers. The hijack the plane.
That call in like, "Hey, we need help," and then
we need
out,
insulin. Would you have thought of that, Travis?
Yeah, come on, Travers, get your shit together.
Stop saying my name, Quaylen. I've seen this movie a couple times. I'm sorry.
Clearly,
I was a striker. I was the best one ever.
Oh God!
Oh God! Yeah, all right. You deserve to die if all you talk about is how great you were at soccer while you're kicking a man.
No, the man that deserved to die the most on that mountain was the idiot with the grenade launcher shooting grenades over his head to shoot down Stallone and cause the avalanche. And he goes flying off the mountain. He deserved to die.
That a lot of people fly off mountains, which is great because you get like the not the Wilhelm scream, but just like a
there was like an alternate Wilhelm scream.
It was
scream 2.0 or something.
Like there's one dude who just falls off into the pitch black of nothing. It's like, oh, he's gonna have a bad time. Yep. But the guy that's shooting the grenades, I don't understand why they wanted to kill Stallone at that point when he was up there. They kept bringing they had the rope around his foot and they were trying to bring him down, and I didn't understand why. It's like, just let the guy come back down with the money.
Well,
that's all you gotta do.
Another question I have, like, it's not like he tied the box to the rope, so if you're pulling him down, the money would still be up there.
Yeah, I didn't understand their logic there. Then they're like, you know what, let's just shoot him instead.
Oh, never mind, I know why they did it. He says we don't need two guides. When he gets back down, kill him. And Michael Rooker yells, Gabe, they're going to kill you. And then they start pulling on the rope, and Gabe has to like gnaw it off with his climbing cleats. That's what that was. So so this movie is almost like 2 hours long. There's
it's
a lot.
It's a long one, but it flies by.
I gotta say, I think the pacing in this movie for a 2 hour long movie is probably one of the best paced for the amount of time.
Especially compared to Executive Decision, where it's like, oh my God, why is this 2 hours and 15 minutes long? Like,
yeah, I wasn't thinking about Cliffhanger being almost 2 hours long because I never think of it that way. You know, it's always like, this is a lot of stuff happens. I'm not left to wonder or get bored. Like even Gabe, when he came back, I didn't need like a ton of info about why he left or, what's going on between him and Jesse. They go through it pretty quick. He couldn't get over the death. Jesse wanted to stay doing what she was doing. They just, he left for a little while to clear his head. He came back to ask her to come back. She says no.
Well, to be fair,
it was done in like 3 minutes.
He was gone for 8 months and did not reach back out. That's kind of a dick move.
It's kind of a dick move. But I mean,
you got a phone. You can write letters.
Somebody slipped out of your hand and died. I mean, that's a lot of weight.
I get that.
PTSD.
Yep, there is
a lot of survivors' guilt.
Yep.
It's horrible mental, and it happened to him. I mean, it happened to her too. But he was on the other receiving end, and how do you get over?
I think
like
she
that?
was on the receiving end, but that's okay. It's fine. It's.
I need to be quiet today.
Form
my sentences very well.
Insert rim shot.
Still a tragic opening.
After Stallone has freed himself, and now he's on a mission he doesn't have a jacket. He's out in the freezing cold, and he's trying to get to the cases before them. That's when Jesse shows up at the one cabin that she knows that they could possibly go to, because everyone here knows these mountains really well.
Well, I would hope so if you're part of the mountain
except
rescue.
the bad guys.
Like,
If they're mountain
like-
rescue, yeah.
yeah, Gabe saw the digital map, the topography map that showed where the cases were, and that's how he had like at least a rough idea of where to go. Like one was on one of the peaks, another one was down in one of the gullies
Valley
and
of the
stuff.
Kings, yeah.
Yeah, and
For those
they
who
all
speak
know
on
where
that.
they're going, and the fact that Rooker also knows this, as much as he hates Stallone, he doesn't want these other guys to win. They're pieces of shit, so he takes them the long way around places. And that was another thing that was just like how impatient they made the villains to be. They're like, well, there's got to be a faster way. I think had I wrote this or something, I would have put in a line like, well, where's your climbing gear, asshole? Because there is a faster way to get there. We're not going to do it
we can go
without
right
climbing
here.
gear.
How are you
so
climbing a
so there's a trail.
Yeah, you're gonna take the trail because not only do we have to, if we had to climb to it as the faster way, but then we got to carry this luggage around. Like that's not an easy feat.
They had 3 of these giant cases full of bills. They could not have been light at
no,
any
not
way,
at
shape, or
all.
form. How are you going to get them down the mountain?
It's just bad planning
down?
based off greed.
Yeah.
I do think though the full overarching plan that Lithgow had was the helicopter. He knew that no matter what, as he had the hostages, he'd be able to call. And really the only reason Frank's not out there immediately, or Jesse, either one, is the storm that come through. So she wasn't even able to be like, helping with the rescue.
It's a good plot point. Mm-hmm.
They figure out ways to make the situation make sense. Because, we could be like, well, fly a helicopter, you'll realize, there's that. But, and also this is all, I have to believe that Lithgow is thinking on his feet. And I do believe that in this movie. Like every time like Gabe is messing up the plan constantly. So he has to keep, rethinking a strategy to where it's finally like, okay, ultimately, even if I don't get out of here with any money, I got to get out of here alive, and that's got to be part of him just figuring out. And that's why he doesn't give a shit about anyone. He's the only other pilot other than, the girlfriend, which is why he shoots her. He is the most valuable person there. He's the smartest person there. He's very much a Heath Ledger Joker moment, like at the beginning of the Batman movie where they're like, well, I was supposed to kill the safe guy. Oh yeah, well, I was supposed to kill, the phone guy. It was funny about that. No one realizes when you're in a gang like this with money, really think about the split and who's going to get that split at the end of this heist. It's like me, I'd be like, I don't know, man. If I'm just doing this part, you don't need me after this. And there's still a lot of the plan to go. What do? I think I get shot.
This would have not happened if he would have had Sally, Harry, and Tommy, though, as part of his team. Just saying.
You imagine Harry on the mountain
with an incoming message from Mr. Head. Don shows up.
That character, it's Stuart French, not French Stewart.
It's French Stewart.
Okay, it's French Stewart. I knew there was 2 words. It's my biggest reason I have a hard time watching Stargate, because I have to believe French Stewart is a Marine that they send over through the portal because he's in the movie with them. And I'm just like, no, he'd be able to communicate back with them. He'd get and communicate and be able to repeat everything that, headquarters is saying. I can't see that guy in anything but Third Rock from the Sun, period. That's just, that's it. Even, Jason Gordon-Levitt, man, is just remembering, or is it Joseph?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
It's like seeing Joseph Gordon-Levitt now grown up and knowing where he started on Third Rock from the Sun. This guy's supposed to be like Robin. He was in, speaking of the Batman movies, he was in the Batman movie afterwards. And then now, he was the kid in Third Rock, man. I love that show. I need to sit down and watch that again. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right, well, enough talking about Third Rock from the Sun. I should have grabbed one of those trailers. That would have been a lot more fun than the one I got.
That would have been funny.
Let's go ahead and hit us a quick commercial break then, all right?
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Just how drunk are we gonna get?
Welcome to Good Beer, Bad Movie Night, where each month we drink finely crafted brews while watching terrible films in order to see just how drunk you have to get to enjoy them. So tune in and join Troy.
Killboy Kreitz.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Dave.
I have the weirdest boner.
And Pete. IPAs are ales, meaning they are bottom fermented. Excuse me, they are top fermented. I that up. Let me try that again. As we drag Kathleen,
Hear me.
kicking and screaming through an alcohol-fueled podcast dedicated to movies of questionable quality and the frosty adult beverages that help make them tolerable. Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Clearly, it's the beer's fault.
The last time I saw a movie for $1, theaters still had balconies for people to neck in. I thought those days were long gone. But then I found out all warehouse movies are now just $1 a day. We're not talking just 1 or 2 movies. We're talking about more movies than anyone else in the world. And everyone is just $1 a day. Now, if I could only just find a balcony.
Right now, rent Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and Cobra for just $1 a day each.
It's the best movie bargain since the double feature.
The critics agree. The warehouse is entertainment.
We now return to the Transformers.
Man,
see, I tied it into stuff.
Yeah.
You did Cobra for $1 a day. That's a good deal.
Where was that video store?
Yeah,
I didn't see an address with that one for some reason. So it had apparently some. I recognize the dude's face, and I'm not going to look it up right now. But
his voice was very familiar.
Yeah, he curly hair, mustache. I think a lot of times he wore like a top hat. He was a
Dr.
comedian.
Demento?
No, I would have known who Dr. Demento was.
the Monopoly Man.
Not the Monopoly Man.
You sound like you were describing a Monopoly Man to me.
I didn't. Did I say a monocle? I
No.
didn't
Not
say
yet,
a monocle.
but you did say
You're
mustache.
approaching monocle and mustache.
Yeah, it was getting there.
Was I approaching that?
Yeah, yeah, you
that's
were just
my
about
fault.
to say
I
it, I
didn't,
could
I
tell.
didn't mean to approach that. That's that falls on me. And now you guys have made me go. I got to look it up.
Now you're looking.
Well, that's
it up.
on you,
This is-
man.
This is great podcasting.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely painting a picture for the audience right now.
This is the beauty of editing. Gene Shalit.
Oh yeah, definitely
oh my
Gene
God,
Shalit
Gene
from.
Shalit. This absolutely is. You would have said mustache, and Nate would have said Monopoly Man.
I still would have
And you
said
would've said
Monopoly Man.
Giant afro.
Oh, that guy.
I said
oh,
curly
Gene Shalit.
hair and a mustache, and I think
That's
the
not
stuff he
curly
wore-
hair. That's more like an afro.
It's an afro.
What is an afro?
No, poofy hair.
I think there's some curls in that.
No, it's poofy, and he's got a bow tie,
Yes, he always had a bow tie.
and he's got like the eyebrows and the mustache, like the mask that you'd buy as a kid with the glasses that had the mustache and the eyebrows.
Oh
The
yeah,
Groucho Marx, yeah.
the disguise.
Yeah, that's what he looks like. I don't know why he was from something. What was he from?
I should have said
he's a
I
movie
should have said
critic.
like he looks like Captain Lou Albano. That's what I
Mm.
should have said because
Yep,
he's
that'd work.
he looks kind of like Mario.
I don't.
He was a movie critic, Nate.
Okay. Ah, the Today Show. Okay, this all makes sense now.
I was a simple commercial, guys. I don't know why.
Well,
we had
yeah,
this-
but now I gotta know who Gene Shalit is. All right.
they said Cobra. That's the only reason I
Oh,
played
yeah.
that commercial. It was Stallone.
But this guy was a very colorful movie critic back in the day.
Yes.
I remember watching his stuff as a kid, going, "Oh yeah, I like this guy's opinion."
It was a lot better than
I
Siskel
need a
and
beer.
Gene.
Yeah, I'll take
Siskel
this
and
guy.
Ebert.
He's fun.
Yeah,
He's got a bow tie. He knows how to have a good time.
people with bow ties know how to party. Apparently,
I know.
It just makes sense. All right. Well, what didn't have any bow ties was Cliffhanger. Back to the
I was
movie,
gonna say,
guys.
for a movie that has a lot of action in it, we have yet to talk about some of this action.
Well, I mean, it's because it's pretty well spread out. There's a lot of, there's some small arms fire. There's some machine guns going off when they're shooting at Gabe. I do like the bunny scene.
Yeah.
Where he puts that on it. Fun fact, they originally killed the bunny.
Oh!
And during the test screening, The audience hated that segment, and Stallone spent $100,000 of his own money to refilm Where the Bunny Survives.
Shit. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like all you got to do instead of spending $100,000 is just, you just cut. Like you see the guy shoot the gun, and then you cut, and that's it. There, I just saved you $100,000. Money, please pay me. Come on, Hollywood. I'm an editor now, baby.
I mean, just the guy could have went, damn it, I missed it. And just
that's it. You could have done a voiceover.
See, they should have had us doing this.
I don't know why they don't. It's like when they paid like $20,000 for the fake poop on John Wick. It's like, you know what you don't do? Just don't show the CGI poop. That's it.
Why even have poop?
I don't know.
Even worry about it.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. But yet, for some reason, we just have to spend money.
And this one had CGI. They had CGI bats because Stallone and the girl that plays Jessie refused to go in the cave with the live bats they already had.
Those were all CG?
Yeah.
No.
Well, the shots of them in the cave were real, but then when they fly by, because you could tell that was CG when it was flying through them.
Were they puppets? Because they were right there.
They already had bats on set.
Okay.
And so all the close-ups are of real bats. Stallone and the girl would not go in the cave to shoot the scenes. So they had to CG the swarm of bats flying out.
It's so sad. The little sky puppies. I love them.
I know. They're so adorable.
I want to hug them.
They just wanted to party. And you know who else doesn't like bats?
Who else doesn't like bats?
Ace Ventura in Nature Calls. So there's a lot that ties in here. He has to get the guano.
Pretty much Stallone.
Yeah, basically.
But that also leads into one of my favorite of the villains aside from Lithgow is I like Leon. Leon's my badass in this movie, man. He is
Leon.
Is that the soccer player? Which one was that?
No.
Okay.
That was
Leon's
the guy
the
with the Uzi.
He was the guy with the Uzi. Okay, yeah.
You can say Leon's the black guy. It's fine. You're allowed to say that.
Okay.
we don't. I'm sorry, guys. It's 93. He's the black guy in the movie.
Got it.
Just back then, you only got one for some reason. It was really weird.
Well, we had the guy that was like in charge of the manhunt.
Yeah,
that we only seen in the office.
Who is not the guy from The Office, by the way. I thought for sure that was the same
I
guy.
thought so too.
He had the right voice. I'm like, oh, is that no?
That's not. I can't think of his name, but that's not.
Well, yeah, we found that out. Pete and I did.
Yeah, I'm glad. Oh my god. Oh no. Jesus Christ.
Well, it's like after the fight with him and Stallone, it's like almost every single henchman now decides to have their leading man moment of that they're going to be the lead henchman or something. Because they all kind of get some like severe screen time. And it's just like, wait, who's that guy all of a sudden? Like the striker, you know? It's like, why are you talking now?
Well, there was that little bit between him and Leon where they were, you could tell that those guys didn't like each other. And I think even Lithgow makes a comment about, I pay for their loyalty. I don't, they're all shitty people, but money talks. Basically, they'll do what I say as long as they know they're going to get paid. I don't know. These are kind of like throwaway hoots. They're not quite the nameless Ali Yongs out there.
I say, they're definitely not nameless because they have more of an impact with the film. Like,
yeah,
they all kind of feel pretty threatening.
Yeah, I mean they pull it off, and this is another thing that I run into with doing these movies is this is like executive decision. Why did you have booby traps if you weren't planning on anyone messing with the bomb? Why did you need mercenaries in an airplane heist? Like, it seemed like you needed the pilot, a guy that was willing to slide down a zip line, Travers, and maybe one other person that's in on it. And, because the girl's already a pilot with the other guy that dies in the crash. Why did you need mercenaries for the midair heist?
I just feel like if you're doing a heist, you should probably have mercenaries.
You think we should just
I
have
just feel like
Probably.
you should just have, mercenaries.
You need some goons to pull a trigger.
Yeah, just in case. Because you never know. Like, you may think that one of the guys kills everyone on the plane, but turns out he didn't. And then that guy has an Uzi. Then he starts to shoot the plane below. And then that hits the hydraulics. And then that's why they can't land the plane. Yeah. But then there's also a bomb on the plane. And the henchmen probably thought of that.
That's very true. The henchmen are like, hey, we've got a handbook that they give us
now,
at the Union Hall.
Exactly.
And this is all the stuff we should be prepared for just in case.
Unless you're ordering your henchmen off Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, where you're going to send a message, are you available to hench? And then they don't say anything back.
Just don't order them off of Temu, okay?
Well, yeah, because those henchmen are just going to steal your identity.
It's true. He's not lying.
I think that's what Temu's known for. You not seen their YouTube commercials? They're weird.
I have not.
Oh, they're weird. Who is this company? Where did they come from?
I've seen that, and then I watched a couple things about people going, hey, you ever wonder why all that shit's so cheap? Here's why. They're making money off of your identity. And I'm like, that tracks.
Yeah,
I've never used it.
I'm deleting that app.
Yeah, didn't you buy something from Temu?
Yeah, I got me a...
Way to bust yourself out, Nate. Delete that app. I wouldn't have said shit.
I deleted it and I installed it. But I got me a Dark Throne coffin rug because I went, well, I got to see if this is real. And it came in and it's like maybe 2 feet long, if that. But it's real. And then I got me a generic Lego set that is a knockoff of the real Lego set of the Orchid. So
I would have tried to order Al Leong, and I would have got that dude from Delta Force 2, who just wasn't quite Al Leong that fought Chuck Norris. Like, damn it, this isn't what I ordered. I was $5, dude. Fair enough. Okay, I'm only
you're
out
right. Like Wish, you just may never get it. They just take your money, and that's
right,
it.
Yeah,
they were upfront about that. Temu,
Wow.
Can you imagine ordering Cliffhanger off Temu?
Oh wow, it would have been one of those like super thin DVDs that you maybe would have gotten 2 plays out of.
Yeah, and it would have
been Indonesian.
Turkish. Yeah, it's the Turkish Cliffhanger, and you can only watch it once, and then it self-destructs.
I love Turkish knockoffs. Those movies are so much fun.
Our friends over at Flicks and Friends sent me a picture that they picked up 10 DVDs that they're getting ready to do a giveaway for, and it's all Turkish versions of other movies.
Yeah.
And inside of the stack is a Turkish Rambo.
And a Turkish Rocky.
I want to see that. And he goes, I knew that was the one you wanted to see.
I want to see all of them.
I was once in a bar watching Turkish Star Wars. I had no idea what was going on.
Nope. The subtitles aren't even right.
No.
No.
It's to a totally different movie. It was like us watching the Hammer Dracula movie. What is going on? Who's talking right now? So yeah, this movie does have quite a bit of climactic things, and most famously,
like I said, it's the stunts. You know,
Yeah.
like when those two like stoner kids from the 90s that say radical dude, tubular,
come
Sega,
on, Gabe.
Saturn,
We're gonna get some righteous wins out there, man. Come
yeah,
on,
bruh. And then we're gonna go back to Leon's and play on his Sega CD, dude.
Man, why are these guys up here harshing my vibe, man? Jeez.
I don't know, bruh.
Yeah, you half expect Pauly Shore to show up at some point.
Yeah, just wheezing the juice.
Oh, gross. Stop that.
What?
I don't know. That guy, he always bugged the shit out of me. I don't know what it is.
The problem with, microwave burritos is they're cold on the outside, but lava on the inside.
You got that backwards, but that's
Damn
okay.
It's like, wow, Nate, that's not how microwave works.
Apparently, he ordered his microwave off.
That's
of
how a
Temu.
Hot Pocket works. Yeah.
you got a Temu burrito.
I got a Temu microwave. The radiation's very real.
That explains so much right now.
You wear a lead bib every time you microwave your burritos.
Oh.
Well, I did that for when I played with the creepy crawlers back in the 90s.
Yeah, we all should have. If that wasn't lead or asbestos based.
Oh, no, not whatsoever.
But did you catch on fire?
Nope.
You're welcome.
No, but also, those plates were fucking hot, dude.
Oh, my parents refused to buy. My sister didn't even get an easy bake oven because they were worried about.
Yeah, I
not
was
so
not
much
allowed.
Sarah, but me and electrical appliances. That got
You're putting your sister's Barbies in there and watching them melt.
I guarantee I would have. You're
Laughing.
talking
That
to
would
the
have been
kid.
happening.
This is why my parents didn't. You're talking to the kid that colored a light bulb till the wax melted onto my arm and burnt the shit out of my arm as a kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
like you didn't just color a light bulb. You took a light bulb that was lit, and you.
So it was in a lamp, you know, one of those
I'm picturing
arm
it,
lamps.
yeah, sure.
And I'm like, I guess in my mind I went, I wish I had purple light, and I took a crayon and I started
All right,
drawing.
makes sense. I get it.
And then it melts and it's kind of cool looking. I'm like, well, let's see what red does. This is cool. And I kept going until there was so much wax on the bulb, it dripped down onto my hand. And all you got was a blood curdling scream from me and my parents running in going, what's wrong? What's wrong with you?
What I picture is then you having to write on the chalkboard, I will not melt the crown onto the lamp.
crown.
And
they took all writing implements away from me at that point.
Well, then what happens after that point is like your parent or teacher then smacks your head into the chalkboard via Ernest.
Yes. Idiot.
Yeah. But no, really did happen.
I believe it.
Don't know what that has to do with Cliffhanger, but damn it.
No, it has to do with the guys that, you know, like, man, it's cool. We're going to free base off this mountain. And then sadly, they get shot. And it's like the one that gets shot.
Base jump, Nate, not free base.
Free base.
Wait, free base. And see, this is the problem with that microwave from Temu.
You warming up your crack in it?
No, just my pizza rolls, dude.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, that also is a pretty like brutal scene where they shoot the kids and he's like hanging in the tree and the wolves are trying to eat him.
Yeah. Like he gets his parachute off in time, but the way that he's like spinning, like you could tell it's like, oh no, he did get hit.
Yeah.
You know?
They do like
it's such a lifeless spin.
I think it's called like a death spiral. Like it's a trick they can do, but literally if you're not pulling on the strings, it would just, you just spin and fall like one of those things from the tree.
Their death was rough, but Frank's innocent in all of this.
Frank
To have
my
him
heart,
get shot.
dude.
Yeah.
It's a banana eating a monkey. I mean, that's forever going to be what he was painting. But yeah,
he had the banana on a string. That way he could really get into the heart and soul of the banana.
And the worst part was Rooker screaming for him. Like they let him go and he's running towards him. And the girl is not realizing what's about to happen either because she gets covered with Frank's blood. So, you know, those bullets were whizzing past her head.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's like Rennie Harlan and I'm sure Stallone probably had a hand. This one thing I did notice, though, reading up on this, I didn't hear a lot of Stallone took over, Stallone did this, Stallone did that. I think he really liked working with Rennie Harlan. I think they kind of had this same vision going forward.
He had the screenplay because I noticed in the beginning it said like story inspired by someone.
Did he?
And then the screenplay was written by Stallone and one other person.
Yeah. So there's three people that popped up that said that they wrote this. And they couldn't they couldn't contest it, so they actually $750,000 extra had to be paid out to these three people and give them partial writing credits.
Well, I mean,
they all had some kind of credential to it.
They threw money away instantly when they just decided not to cut the bunny getting shot. So really, what is $750,000 to a studio?
True.
Come on now.
Very true. But Stallone did cut his fee for that $1 million stunt
Yeah, I did read that.
He cut part of his fee out for that.
Oh, that's
so.
cool. Just to make sure that happened.
This made money. This was a blockbuster, right?
Oh,
this
was huge.
This was big.
And this is kind of needed for him because it was right after Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
It really was.
So he needed this.
Yeah. No, this was a
Did
big
he really
one,
need it? He was still riding that Rocky money.
No, because he had Rocky 5 before Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. So this is not good time for him. Yeah. And he did have Oscar right after Rocky 5. So we're talking like Stallone needed a winner. So then he got this and Demolition Man. So it was like boom, boom, left and right, just like Rocky.
You're good.
Exactly. Yeah. So it all worked out for him. But so I say we can talk about the finale of this movie. I mean, we talked about some of the,
finale's
around
so cool
because we're at the part where Frank dies. So we get the point where Quaylen kills the girl who we only know as the pilot, and then he reveals, I'm also the pilot.
Right.
I'm the only one that can fly us off this mountain now.
Dude, he shot her. I'm like, dude, you have got no way down the mountain now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, by the way, I'm a pilot too. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah. So he keeps Travers on that leash, whatever. You still have to work for me. You get to the point where it's basically down to just Lithgow and Stallone.
Right.
And he, Lithgow gets Jesse. He's holding her. And you get a pretty cool, like, dude versus helicopter, which you're kind of like, this is a high ground moment. And if there's anything I've learned, whoever's got the high ground is going to win, and Lithgow's got the high ground. But I still remember the first time watching this and seeing Stallone throw that duffel bag up into the rotors and just poof, money everywhere.
It's a big fuck you moment.
Oh yeah, it
really is.
Yeah.
And then for him to grab that hook from the rescue chopper and hook it to the ladder, you're just like, oh shit, this is going to get cool. And I'm used, at that age, I hadn't seen a ton of action movies, but I've seen enough to go, helicopter's going to get stuck. It's going to crash. It's going to crash into the side of the mountain. It's going to blow up. They take it that extra step further.
Yeah.
Where Stallone gets caught up on the ladder. It falls, but it doesn't explode. It's hanging by the ladder. And they have to fight on top of an upside down helicopter, which is just bad.
It's awesome. But like, even when the ladder is coming apart from the cliff and like it's basically doing a wave and Stallone's holding on to the ladder, dangling over, and then the fight on top of the helicopter, it's just cool. Like, that's the only way to put it.
There was a point when Lithgow, and this is what I wanted more from Lithgow. They're fighting or whatever, and he just leaps off of the cliff and lands 2 feet as hard as he can on the bottom of this helicopter, right?
Yeah.
And an unhinged Joker character would have been like, this is chaos. I'm trying to kill myself. I'm not going to make it out of here, but I'm taking y'all with me.
Yeah.
It didn't feel, that's what I wanted more of through the whole movie from him, that unhinged insanity, but I didn't get it. And that moment was like, is that what you really wanted to do?
I take
because
it
Stallone
as
definitely went like, whoa.
Yeah.
Stallone straight up goes like survival mode, and he's only doing what he can. I don't know. I think I still prefer my cold and calculating Lithgow. And then this is the moment where it's fight or flight. Like, it's literally, I'm pissed off at Stallone for even putting me in this situation. It gets to the point, like, if I'm going to die, you're going to die with me type moment. So he gets unhinged. I like that calculated character, that coldness. Like, I'm still like in shock that he shot the girl. I'm still like,
oh yeah,
he gives zero shits about anyone on this mountain, and ultimately he's still just trying to get the money. There was one duffel bag of money left because there's a good line in the movie where Stallone has to burn the money, and it costs a fortune to heat this place, and he keeps throwing
oh my god
of the money.
It's such a good line.
It is, man. But he throws it all over the place, but I love it. And then the helicopter finally like lets loose off of the ladder lets loose, and Stallone kicks Lithgow back into the helicopter, and you get to see I love when you see their faces as the ground is flying. It's
he's
like
riding down.
the Nazi in Indiana Jones that's in the tank, and you
yeah.
watch him go off the
Oh
cliff.
yeah.
Yeah. I
green
love
screen.
those kind of kills, man. Those are some of my favorite.
You saw as Lithgow was going down, you see him looking around, going, "How am I going to get out of this? How am I
Yeah.
going to get?"
He's observing
shit.
his situation, and the ground is like right there. He's done. But I love that POV shot right there, right before it explodes. It's awesome, man. I mean, and it's like I said, it's a bit of a long movie, but damn it, it's so fast paced. I don't think of this one as a 2-hour long movie.
No, not like compared to Executive Decision, where it's just like, come on, please let this in. Like this, because there's stakes at it the whole time. There's enough action going on throughout the movie that it just flies by, and like you're invested with your characters.
Right. No, it's a good, solid action / I'd even throw some thriller into this. It's not quite as thrillerly as what we were saying as far as Executive Decision was a bit more on the thriller part.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger is heavier to the action side.
Yep.
But there's still a lot of like edge of your seat kind of moments.
And that one's getting brought up just because of how we just covered it. Like,
well, it is. And
compared
honestly,
to like,
we didn't plan it, but it's a great like back and forth. Like here's this one to here. What are we talking? Barely 20 minutes of difference in runtime, but how
honestly,
tight Cliffhanger is compared to Executive, and the money, the budget, everything, it's all like huge and explosions and shit. This is just a better writing and editing, I think, for this movie, for sure. And plus, it's still November, so we get to talk about it.
Right.
We're just covering both of these in November. So
yeah, it's very true.
You guys ready to do the things?
Let's do the things.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Leave anything for us?
Just bodies.
Body count, body count, body count, body count.
So this one, just decent for what it is. I mean, you get one of these like isolated areas, but because of the plane hijack, we get a few more deaths sprinkled in. 17 people die in
nice.
Cliffhanger. So, like I said, that seems right for this type of movie.
It does.
It's not a total run and gun kind of movie. It's more cat and mouse almost as it goes. Sure. So, and then there's a lot of impactful kills, especially the innocents. I mean, we're talking, this is counting Sarah at the beginning, and you can't not count her. Frank and all those, the kids, you have to count all those people that die in this. So, we're going to do, let's see, we got to do Kill of the Week now. Let's pick our favorite one.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Yeah, but they were all bad.
I know what mine is, and I'm probably going to guess.
I
think I know what all of us ours, but let's start with Pete. Pete, what is your kill of the week?
So, at the beginning of the movie, you knew Sarah, right?
Sarah.
Yeah, you knew she was going to die. It was just going to happen. That's how you set up a movie like this.
It sets the mood.
And even when Frank got killed, I kind of saw that telegraphed also. Mm-hmm. And those were the two most impactful ones, the ones that really
100%,
hit you. But the one that just blindsided me was the girlfriend. I wasn't ready for that. It happened so quickly. He didn't even think about it. He's like, okay, bang, she's dead. That one is my favorite. It just, my jaw hit the floor. I think I went, what the hell?
I like his reasoning for this.
I do.
My
I was
reasoning
expecting that.
is a total opposite of this.
Yep. Yeah. So it was an unexpected kill. I mean, shooting that guy through the ice is pretty fucking cool, right?
It was cool. It was.
That's very, very
I mean,
cool.
it's a whole reason to have the bolt gun there. It's doesn't make sense to have a pass load nail gun under the ice. Where's the air compressor? Damn it! Stuff like that.
The girlfriend's death is my favorite because I wasn't ready for it at all.
All right. Well, Nate, I was not expecting that answer from Pete. What about you? Now I'm not sure what you're going to say.
No, mine's obvious. Stallone picks up a man, stabs him into a stalactite.
Oh my God, that's right. No, I'm sticking with mine, but Oh yeah. I forgot
Good,
about
Nate, because that's mine too.
Damn it.
Leon's
Yeah,
death
right.
in the cave, where
That
he
was good. That was
lifts
really
a
good.
dude into a
Yeah,
stalactite.
it's a stalactite.
How do you know? How do you know? Do you know?
Stalactites are the ones from the ceiling,
But
and then stalagmite is the one from the floor.
I have always remembered as stalactite because it's holding tight to the ceiling. Stalagmite because it might touch the ceiling.
Oh, that's a clever way to remember too.
We had a place called Bristol Caverns down here, and it's really cool to go into. But I've always remembered that little thing to remember.
We got
tight, might.
Ohio Caverns out in Urbana.
I never made it out there for as long as I
It's
lived
great.
in Ohio.
It really is.
Very cool.
But yeah, no, Leon's death, man,
Holy
by
crap,
far,
that
the
guy.
blood dripping down.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
it's so badass.
It is to prove how normal of a guy Stallone is. He's not a fighter, so
No.
he is getting his ass kicked, and then it's just out of pure mind of like, fuck this guy, I'm tired of this fight. Let me just stab him into a cave. Like, come on. I don't know of any other death in a movie like that.
Bitch pressed a dude to death, basically.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right, but you know what? I was fully expecting that for Pete, but
I know. When he said that, I was like, well, yeah, that is a good death. Like,
honestly,
it is a shocking
presenting
death.
this.
and I remember pausing the movie because I was laughing so hard. I loved it so much, but I'm sticking with what I said.
No, that's fair. I think it's great that we did that. That was awesome. All right, well, let's rate this bad boy. Well, this is both of your guys' first time watch of Cliffhanger. It sounds as if you guys enjoyed it. So, Pete, I'm going to start with you again.
Yeah.
How many Alliangs you giving Cliffhanger?
I told you at the beginning, like these are even though the math is a little fuzzy at this point.
It's okay.
As far as
they'll understand in December what we're talking about.
As far as the last 3 action movies, it linearly that we've recorded, I've enjoyed mostly. Executive Decision was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah,
but yeah, they are all. I'm going to say a 7.5. I think you should see this. It's more entertaining than it probably than it built itself for. It looked like a real dumb movie.
Right.
And I am sad that I didn't go see this as a younger person. I think this would have been a lot of fun.
I'd have loved to have seen this in the theater, honestly.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the big screen, those landscapes.
Yeah.
That cinematic of the mountains would have been just. Imagine something like that in IMAX now. Like,
oh god, that'd be
Jesus, that would have been
gorgeous.
badass.
Yeah.
But, Nate, what about you, Bubba? First time watch?
I'm right there with Pete, a 7.5. This isn't one of Stallone's best movies, but it's still a really fun movie. Like, yeah, and I have the same way. Like, I kind of avoid it. It's like, it just doesn't look that entertaining, I guess, enough. But like, I was wrong. Turns out you can have a lot of fun when hanging from a cliff. All right, I admit that. But yeah, this was worth the wait. Especially like younger me would have not been able to appreciate John Lithgow as a villain. You know, it wasn't till adult me being able to appreciate like how creepy that man can be and how sinister he is.
It's awesome. Like I said,
yeah, everything about this is just
fun.
popcorn. It's popcorn fun.
Popcorn.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what about you,
You're up.
Charlie?
You're up, Charlie.
You know, I think you said it great right there, Nate. It's not one of my favorite Stallone movies, but it's a good Stallone movie.
I'll watch this again without a doubt. Like
it's in my rotation. I've got it on DVD, Blu-ray. You know, I don't know if there's a 4K release of this.
There
yet.
is, like, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, I wouldn't seek out the 4K, but this is one of those, like, if it's on Netflix and I'm kind of like, I'm bored, I got nothing
Honestly,
to do.
I might
throw this
seek out
on
the 4K just to see how well it all looks.
Well,
I imagine it's gonna be gorgeous.
Yeah, so
4K on a giant TV, or
mine's at least a 65. So I think
I want to
it
bump
would
that
be
up
like,
to 80 because
that's
that's like a
Dances
Dances
with
with Wolves sort of thing. You want to see every little bit out of Africa. You want to see all the landscape.
If the 65 dies, I can go up to the 80 because everyone knows TV rules are when the TV dies or breaks, you always go up.
Upgrade.
Yeah. Well, I had one of those old rear projection Mitsubishis, and I had the
one of those things that weighed a ton.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you ever
somehow everyone always had it in their basement.
That's where mine was in the basement in Ohio, man. That's I had a whole thing built in. But yeah, I had an 85-inch rear projection Mitsubishi. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna be just a tick higher than you guys. I'm gonna give it an 8. It's definitely a solid high recommend. It's 30 years old this year. We covered it over
Jesus, it is.
We covered it on the Action Elite. We did a special Hard Target / Cliffhanger episode because they both hit their 30th anniversaries this year. So yeah, 2 times the Cliffhanger for me this year, boys, but I'm not upset about it. I picked it because it's wintertime and I want snow.
It's a Christmas movie at that point. It's got snow.
Might as well. You might as well should have. Well, they did decorate one tree. Well, that's bad.
With a base jumper.
That's bad. I'm sorry about that. I immediately felt bad after that.
Everyone put the free base jumper at the top of the tree.
No, Nate, no.
Free
no,
base jumper. All right, guys. Well, I have something special.
Different.
So we're going to do something a little different for trash reviews. I'm still going to play the drop because everyone loves the drop. So here we go.
I'm the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring. And then I start eating garbage. And then I pick up the trash can and I smash the guy on the head.
Oh, that's going to be a disaster.
So not normally when I'm reading stuff about movies do I get mad as I'm reading the information. This made me mad.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So this is on IMDb. So if you want to go look at it, and again, I'm sure some stuff isn't 100% accurate on there, but this one feels accurate. This one sounds like they did some research. Carol Co. had originally signed Sylvester Stallone to appear opposite John Candy in a comedy directed by John Hughes about feuding neighbors titled Bartholomew versus Neff.
Why did this not happen?
Right. So I'm already mad now.
Right.
When
John Candy was Bartholomew in Spaceballs. But
yeah,
that's right. That's right. I'm a Mog. I'm my own best friend.
Oh, what a line.
When that project was dropped, Stallone got involved with another Carol Co. project, Isobar, a sci-fi futuristic horror about genetically created monster that gets loose on a high-speed runaway train. The movie was to have a $90 million budget, and Roland Emmerich was hired to direct. But due to arguments he had with Carol Co. and producer Joel Silver about the script and control, he walked away from Isobar and it ended up being canceled. I want to see that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I want John Candy to play the monster.
While Emmerich went on to make Universal Soldier for Carol Co. Oh, I'm not done yet, gentlemen. Stallone was first signed on to make another film with Rennie Harlan, an action thriller disaster film called Gale Force, which would have had Stallone's character fighting modern pirates during a large hurricane. But once that film got canceled as well, he and Harlan went on to make Cliffhanger for Carol Co. Now, I thought that was the end of it because I was like, Gale Force against pirates. I found more. Sylvester Stallone and Rennie Harlan were originally going to make a film titled Gale Force. The script for the film had the main character, an ex-Navy SEAL, fighting a group of modern pirates and thieves in a coastal town during a large hurricane. Despite working on it from 1989 until 1991, Carol Co. deemed the project too expensive to produce after investing $4 million in script. And because the planned visual effects for it proved to be too difficult, the plug was pulled. Stallone and Harlan then decided to make this movie, Cliffhanger, instead. Although Harlan was already paid $3 million for his directing of Gale Force, because he had a contract, he didn't have to return the money. Surprisingly, though, Carol Co. estimated that the budget for Gale Force would have been around $40 million, and the final budget for Cliffhanger was $70 million.
What an interesting tale of events.
That's how stupid Hollywood is, man. That's why I consider that trash, because I got gypped out of a comedy, buddy comedy with John Candy and Stallone.
National
and the closest
treasure,
I ever get to that is Jingle All the Way with
it's got Sinbad.
and Sinbad.
Sinbad, yeah.
and the neighbor, Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Bless.
Now I am realizing that I do not remember this as a kid. Cliffhanger had a Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo game. You could climb the mountain, and you have to run away from avalanches and kick the bad guys.
Wait,
Yep.
Super
I do
Nintendo
remember that.
Wasn't
Yep.
N64 out by then?
Not at this point. 64
no.
wasn't till 95,
okay.
96.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so, man, I kind of want to find a copy of this.
Well, it's like I want to find a copy of Demolition
I'm sure
Man.
there's
I
an
mean,
emulator out
yeah.
there. You can probably download that ROM.
No, I want the real copy, Pete.
Yeah, I want the physical copy. And then, like, we don't talk about, like, the ROMs and emulations, cough, cough, wink, wink, that, I do want to obtain.
Hey, unless they're going to release these freaking games, and if they're just going to keep putting them behind locked doors and vaults, all for emulation over here, man.
Yes.
You need to preserve these things.
I am going to...
You're going to lose some of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to the video game convention this weekend in Columbus, and I'm really, really hoping...
where's that?
It's at the convention center. We're doing it for Mark's bachelor party. So,
Saturday?
Yeah. So it's Saturday and Sunday. And I'm like, I really hope I can find a certain back alley dealer who's like, I have a console that has emulations and ROMs on it. And he just opens up a trench coat. Like he's the bad guy from Resident Evil 4 who sells you stuff, but he's not a bad guy. He's just like, what are you buying?
Nate,
Well, I hate to tell you that. It's not going to be in a back alley. There's vendors there that sell that shit.
That's what I'm hoping for. I really do.
Nate,
it's not hard to find.
Give me a computer. I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just throw this laptop at you. Just here.
Don't throw it at me.
I've got drawings from building my own stand-up arcade that I want to put like a ton of emulators on and put on that. So anyway, but that's our trash review on that. Hollywood's stupid. I didn't get a sci-fi monster creature on a high-speed train before Under Siege did it because
Snowpiercer is a movie that takes place on a train that's really cool.
The Horror Express with Christopher Lee and Telly Savalas has a monster on a high-speed train.
Train to Busan.
Yeah, zombies on a train.
Yeah. Pete hates that, so it's scary. It's fine. Pete don't like his zombies. All right. Well, that does it for Cliffhanger, guys. This is next week is our Thanksgiving episode, right, Nate?
Is it? Yeah, I don't know. There's so many movies. I don't know. I'm really confused right now.
No, everyone has to wait till December, or maybe next week we'll explain what's going on.
Okay.
I don't want people hearing this 17 times over the next, because we can't remember when we said shit. I'm sure they figured it out by now. But next week we have our Thanksgiving special, which if you follow us online, you've already seen. We are covering all 3 Feast movies.
Oh my
Thanks,
goodness.
Nate. This is all Nate's idea.
How's this my idea? I don't even remember coming up with this idea.
Because we were looking for horror movies for Thanksgiving. And either I or you said, well, there's Feast. And I was like, that's a really cool movie. That's the one that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, their Green Light Project. And I remember liking it. And then Nate's like, there's 3 of them. Let's do all 3. And I'm like,
why does this feel like something I would say? Now, 87 minutes is one of them.
I want
96 minutes.
I've got a horror movie for next Thanksgiving, and it's not Thanksgiving.
Right.
Well, the third one's 77 minutes. I don't have my phone on me, but like, it's at least 3 hours and 40 some minutes that we got to set aside for this.
Thanks, Nate.
You're welcome, everyone.
Not making the episode longer, so
no,
we gotta get all that in.
We're not even going to cover like each movie separately. They're just going to blend together.
Yep,
sure, we can do that.
But,
yeah.
Forewarning, everyone, and if you'd like to play along at home, watch 3 movies before next Tuesday. So yeah, that's what we got going on, and then December, we'll explain what's going on in December. You'll hear that next week. So, anything else we need to go over?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
know. I don't know. Is that it? That's all? That's it? Okay. Well, if you want to hear all our updates and see what's going on, make sure you go check us out over at Give Me Back My Action Movies, the Facebook group. We are also on Give Me Back My Horror Movies, the Facebook group. Both of those are over on Instagram. Nate and I run each one. Nate's Horror. I'm action. I don't know why. Sometimes we still get messages about who is who.
It happens.
I was like, Nate's the horror guy, Charlie's the action guy, but it's okay. We just appreciate y'all interacting with us.
Yeah.
Some fantastic feedback from our Crow episode. That was awesome. Thank you guys so much for your interaction on that. And as of this recording, it seems like everyone was excited about our November movie picks too. So we'll see how the feedback is once these all come out.
It may change their mind. Who knows?
They're very much so.
Yeah, they very well could.
Yeah, I totally forgot.
Had enough of those turds.
Yeah. Aren't these guys done yet? So yeah, you can also follow us over on X, Threads, TikTok, and YouTube. So make sure you go rate us 5 stars over on Spotify and Apple. Gentlemen, are we done?
Yes, please.
Yes, I'm done. What's a good word, Charlie? Get me out of here.
I screenshotted it, but it came off. Hold on. I at least screenshotted it, so it's
You
fine.
did it.
Yeah,
you
he
even told
did
us you screenshot it earlier.
All right, here we go. Remember, shithead, keep your arms and legs in the vehicle at all times.